Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, depending on what time you're watching this next build tutorial with me, Avomance. And today we are going to build a modern house, but it's going to be a bigger modern house. Last time we did that one, if you remember, that was the last modern house that we did. That is small. This is going to be a much bigger house. In fact, let's show you what we're going to build right now. And there it is. This is what we are going to make together today. Let's have a quick look around it. As you say, it's got nice pillars, it's got some great detail. We've got kind of a tree with a big glass wall, swimming pool at the back, of course, because every modern house needs a swimming pool. We've got a nice sun terrace, and inside we've got fish tank, nice open space, and down the stairs we've got plenty of room to be able to put, I don't know, some living space. I've left it fairly open so you can do what you want to do with it. And inside the garage is kind of the work area, which is where you would expect the garage to be. And back out the front again. That's it. Should we crack on with making it? I think we should. And what you need for this build is really quite simple. Some light grey stained clay, oak door, oak with planks, quartz slab, block of quartz stairs, pillar quartz blocks, buttons. I prefer stone buttons, but you could use wooden buttons. Some black stained glass panes, some grey stained clay, some stone bricks, some andesite, some light grey stained glass pan. Now that could be any colour, I just personally like light grey for this particular build. Water bucket, dark oak leaves, some flowery type ornamentation-y type stuff, some gravel, some lighting. I've gone for sea lanterns because they kind of fit, but you could use glowstone or some other kind of lighting. Stone slabs, bookshelves, paintings, birch fence, netherrack, carpet. I've got red carpet again. Your colour scheme is yours. Flint and steel, acacia door because they make awesome back doors, they look really cool, and then some trees. I've got birch and oak and a little bit of bone meal. Again, choose what you want. Like with every build, the first thing you want to be doing is putting out your template for your floor, just so you've got something to work from. You don't necessarily have to stick with it, but at least you've got something to start with. And I'm going to start first off by putting 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across this way, and then going in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then across 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you've got to keep going the way I show you right here. And keep going until you've got an outer line like this with these dimensions. Pause the video to note these down if you need to. Now, ordinarily, when you're building a house, you wouldn't build the garage first, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on this long side here, so you've got a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that one and that one, so not quite the edge, but just inside the edge. We're going to build a tower of 4 andesite. 2, 3, 4, and we're going to connect them across, and then on the inside of that we're going to build another tower exactly the same until we've got a 2 deep archway made out of andesite. It looks very bold and it's going to look absolutely awesome. And inside we're going to use the pillar quartz. Now, pillar quartz makes an awesome effect if you put it sideways like this, and if you put it sideways indented, it gives some real depth and a really nice feel and looks very much like a garage door. And here we are going to use our stone buttons. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, and that gives an excellent garage door effect. So on the outer corners of your outline, and this is an outer corner where it comes outwards like that. This is an inner corner, so we're not talking about that kind of corner. Place a column of quartz and make it 6 high. Yep, 6 high. Just like this. And because officially this corner is also an outer corner, 6 there as well. And you should have the startings of your structure looking just awesome. Time to place the first row of our marble block wall, and we're going to do this with depth and texture in mind. So if we want some depth, we need to come in one from these marble pillars. So we're going to come in one here and follow the block placement that I have here all the way along the inside row of this clay, the outline that you've made, the inside of it, not on it. And then we're going to come across straight. We're going to leave a gap there, which should leave you 2 left, and then go up right next to the garage. So you've got the garage wall, 1, 2, 3, a gap for the door, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're rowing all the way along inside this clay line. Get to the back here, and inside the back here we need to leave right in the middle a nice gap of 2. So you want 1 there, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then follow all the way along the inside of this row now. And what's different with this row now is we're going to go on to the clay and all the way along to the pillar, and similarly on this side onto the clay and all the way along to the pillar, but like we have on the other side, come inside that back line just 1. Before we do anything else, I think it's time we filled in this floor. Floor is all done, so let's get the doors in now. So the front door is just the front door, 1 single door, but what I like to do when I'm putting my doors in, especially on the front here, is give it some texture, put it in from the inside, not the outside, because then that gives you a lovely little indent there. Come around the back, we want to do exactly the same thing with the acacia doors on the inside, and they look great as some external patio doors. So now make this wall 3 high all the way around, so that's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, like so. Just like that, and then on these inner walls, so we are excluding this big wall here, we're going to go up another 3. And then repeat the same process on this outer wall, but you can make this straight away 6 high. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to put some stairs to good use now. We're going to put them upside down above the door. We're going to do the same above the front door. Upside down just there. And then here we are going to put a row, starting from the first row after the pillars, a row of steps going upwards, because this will lead to a nice open area on the first floor. Now you see here we've already got to the height of this wall. That's okay, it's not a mistake, it's deliberate. We're going to keep going up until we are level with the height of this first wall, and then we're going to get our block of quartz and complete that there. Now you're thinking, but Avo, what about this really strange looking wall here? That's alright. What we're going to do now is we're going to fill this in with the black stained glass. And we're going to go all the way across. Then we're going to put another row. And then another row. And that makes for a really nice kind of glass wall to the outside of this particular build. Now let's fill in some of these gaps that we've got here with our quartz blocks. Right across the top of the garage, and across the top of the front door, and of course across the top of the back door. We are now going to sectionalize the inside just a little bit, because this is a huge open space and we don't want that big inside. We want to make it so it's a little bit more room-like. So obviously with this garage, we want to keep that garage door as the border, coming all the way up, making a wall like this. Of course, we still want to have a little garage door in there, so let's take out those 2 blocks. And then we also want to make this room just a little less big. It's huge, so let's split this room out. We've got 2 blocks that side of that door, then the door, then 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, 5 blocks, and then here stick a block as the separating wall. And we're going to make this not all the way across, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're just going to put 2 on either side just to give that room the separation that it needs. That's a very tall gap there, so I think we need to make that more arch-like. So with 1, 2, 3 blocks as whole blocks, we then get our quartz stairs, we'll put them upside down on either side. 1, 2, 3 quartz stairs there, and then with our blocks come across. That makes for a nice grand archway inside our building, and we'll keep this room this big, beautiful size, because I think that gives us all kinds of things that we can do inside this modern build. So we're going to make a sun terrace, a huge sun terrace on top of this garage area. So we just need to fill in this roof with the blocks, using the marble blocks again. Now you could use a different block here if you wanted to give it just a different dimension. I quite like the continuity that marble blocks give us, because we're going to do some extra detail in here that's going to take away the harshness of this kind of white area. And we will extend this glass fencing here, and with the other glass, our standard light grey glass, we're going to put this all the way along the side here, and the same at the front, missing out this last bit. Then coming along, edging these stairs right to the edge, just like that. We're going to give the outside a little bit of detail here, because this looks like a big flat white wall and I don't like it. So we're going to mirror the garage by putting andesite all the way to the top of this first level, and we're going to fill it in down to that step but not cover the step, which gives a bit of a dimension there. And we're going to do exactly the same on the back, around this back door, again mirroring that same style with a nice wide grey archway over our door. Perfect. It's time to finish off this top level, so coming all the way to the last row of our sun terrace, we are going to put a outline of the quartz blocks all the way around the outside of the building like this. Then when we get to the end, we're going to come in 1, 2, and we're going to come across this way 1, 2, 3, leaving a 2-block gap in the wall slightly towards the back. And then getting our quartz slabs, we're going to top off the 3 columns around the stair area, and then here we're going to start to build out with what I could describe as an overhang perhaps, or a porch area. And just watch the block placement as I go all the way around the house with these slabs. And we're going to leave this back wall free of this overhang. It's time to create access to the next floor of this build, so leave 1, 2 gap, and with your marble stairs do a row of 2 stairs, and again just like the outer staircase, we're going up 2 by 2, 1 stair at a time. But then on this top wall stick another lot, which brings us to a floor level that is equal to the top wall here, because we're going to step down to get into that particular area there. So now we want to fill in the walls, so watch the block placement really carefully. So we're going to leave this part open to create like a mezzanine style level just here. I think that's plenty enough room. So you're going to put 1 more row of blocks there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks along, and we're going to use our normal glass, the light grey stained glass pane, and we're going to create a row all the way around so as people don't fall over, because that would just be dangerous. And then we continue along here with our blocks. And as I said, we're going to step down here, so create steps like that, and then round those off just to make it look nice and neat, like so, with our light grey stained glass panes, making sure nobody falls over those stairs, because stairs can be treacherous. And now we need to finish off these walls, making them 6 high. They're already 3 high from the outside, so that's what we want to carry on. 6 high, another 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. So let's get a nice double set of acacia doors on the inside, just like that. We want some steps upside down, over the top, no, not like that. just like that, and then finish that off with blocks like that. And now with every modern house, it needs slabs. So let's create an overhang with the slabs and fill in the roof just like this. So we filled in the roof, but I have left a strip open all the way along the middle. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's right down the middle, and we're going to go all the way around outside this with another row of slabs. And then around that, another row of slabs. And then just for good luck, one more row of slabs. So that should leave 2 along that side and 2 along that side. So what we're now going to do is we're going to equal that out and make it 2 along this edge. And then come all the way over here. We've already got 2 along that edge, but we need 2 all the way along here as well. So we need to put another 2 there, another 2 there, another 2 there, and another 2 there. So there is a row of 2 all the way around the outside of the roof, just like that. And this is the first use of our sea lanterns. We're going to fill this gap in all the way along with our sea lanterns. Obviously, if you've chosen glowstone or whatever else it is you want to use to be able to light this place up, that's entirely up to you. I've used sea lanterns because I really like them. And on top of that, we're going to get another quartz slab, and we're going to fill in the row all the way around the outside. So 1, 2, 3, and then over the top. And then one more row on the outside to make sure we've finished it off. Well, the roof might be done, but it looks very large and bare right now, so we want to be putting in some windows. I think the windows always look best if you start them off with stairs at the bottom, like that, then the window, and then stairs at the top, exactly the same way around as the ones at the bottom. Then getting our black stained glass, we're going to fill in that window space, just like that, and that starts to let in some light into our build. You can see from the inside it's getting a little bit dark, so we need to make sure we're putting lots of light in. So we're going to put a nice big window in here. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to come from the outside, 3 lots of stairs at the bottom, 3 lots of stairs at the top, and then using our black stained glass again, filling in that gap, and then we have it really nice little windows. And we're going to put some more windows around other areas of this build to make sure that it doesn't look too sparse. We're going to need a window in here, coming through on the inside, so we need another little window just here, I think, just like that. And we've got this huge wall here, huge wall, and we're going to leave that as it is for now because we're going to put some windows on the upstairs. So let's come in, and we're going to have a really great big window running all the way along by the side of stairs, but we're not going to use steps on the top level. We're just going to fill it in with glass. Similarly here, right on the opposite side, we're going to build a window, comes all the way along, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put glass straight into that, and that starts to open up our area much more nicely. We're going to put one last window in here, and I think we might be all windowed out. So in here we have a 5x7 room that is the garage, and we're going to put some lighting up in the top. It's going to be a little bit fancy, but not really fancy. So it's a 5x7 room, so we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, so that is the centre, and we're going to put a sea lantern in a cross shape like that, which is way more light than we're ever going to need in this room. Inside this room we've got some similar challenges. What are we going to do, because it's ever so slightly off centre as a result of these steps? Doesn't matter, you still use the steps as part of the room. So this is the central row here, but we're not going to do a cross. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 in a straight line, leaving a 2 gap in each side, giving what's effectively a strip light. And in here again, we've got different challenges. So what we're going to do, we are going to put lighting again right in the middle. So this room is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is great because that means we can put very simple double strip of lighting in right in the middle, which is there and there, and that gives lots of light within all of the rooms of the house. It's time for us to start creating the outside. So we're going to start with the driveway, and the driveway is going to be made out of stone brick. So let's just cut out the 3 all the way across. That's 3 deep, 5 across, and 1 more. Cut out that there. Whoop, didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. Cut out that there and just fill this in. And then taking the light grey stained clay, we are going to create a continuation of this outside using this clay. That's great. And now we're going to go round the back and we're going to start to make the swimming pool. Everybody in a modern house wants a swimming pool. It's just the way it is. And for us to have a nice swimming pool, we are going to put it at this back area here, and it's going to be a biggie. Let's have a swimming pool that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's dig that out. And we're going to line this with the clay. So now we're going to put out the strip all the way around here and cover that up with clay too. Now if you were to try it and just fill this up with water now, you're going to find you've got a real kind of current thing going on in the middle. So you're going to need to fill it up just 1 row. We're going to take this out, and this is why we've already put the second row of clay. It's just going to make it a lot easier for us to have the floor. So if we get 1 row all the way along here, we can then fill it up really easily with water, not get any currents whatsoever, and then we can dig the bottom out and the water will just maintain the level. It's just a lot more simple way of doing it. So then fill in the water until you've got a nice even supply without any currents whatsoever. There we go, just like that. And then we're going to dig out this lower block that we just laid, because if we do that, the water just stays at depth. It just makes it dead easy. It's a little kind of weird quirk of Minecraft that if you have a really shallow pool and you dig, the water tends to infinitely flow downwards, which is brilliant. It actually makes it really easy for us to create really, really deep pools of water using not too much water. But these poor people, they might want to swim in the night time, and if they want to swim in the night time, we're going to have to give them a little bit of light. So we've got a quite nice number of width and depth in terms of this swimming pool here. So we can go gap, light, then we can go again, I keep falling in the water, we can go at the other end, same place, gap, light, and then gap, light. Let's come here, and at the sides as well, let's give them plenty of light so as everybody can see what they're doing if they're laying on their Lilo reading their Kindle. That looks brilliant. I'm really happy with that, but we have got to make it more accessible. This back area needs to be like a patio, and you can kind of do this in whatever colour or shape or material you would like, but personally for me, patios tend to be made out of wood, so I'm going to use oak wood planks, just a personal preference, and I'm going to get these oak wood planks and I'm going to create a patio area that is, I'm personally making it on the same level as the house. Now some people might prefer, you know what, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to have that at the edge. Some people might prefer to have this raised up one level, and I completely get that. That makes perfect sense to me for you to do that, but for the sake of this build, I think I'm just going to have it on the same level, and let's fit it in. Okay, there we have it, and we're going to row all the way around this patio now with the clay. So continue this line along here, all the way around the patio area. It's more of a deck, isn't it? It's quite a nice deck next to the pool. Carry on all the way around and keep going around the pool too. And one extra row, so there are 2 rows of the clay around this pool area. And then we're going to get our glass because we want to kind of separate this out a little bit. We don't want people just wandering in. I mean, the cows could fall in the water. That would be a complete disaster. So let's get our light grey stained glass, and we're going to create a nice border area using that glass going all the way around, and it'll act as a great fence for safety and also to make sure that we don't get any rogue cows coming in. And we're going to leave a gap, just one gap, and come all the way around like that, and then that glass fits beautifully against that pillar, and we've got just a nice gap for people to come in and out, perhaps to use the garden. And here we're going to use some steps. Oh, they're already there, look. So we're going to use some steps to create like a seating area for the patio. So let's get our quartz stairs. We're going to put a step there, and a step there. We're not going to fall in the water holding quartz because that would be probably fairly deadly. And we're going to get our birch fence because it's a light colour, and I quite like the idea of it being a light colour. And we're going to get birch fence like that, and then we'll get a little bit of that carpet, and it's red, which is a nice contrast, I personally think, to go on top of here. Oh, not on there though. That creates a little table that goes next to our swimming pool, and if you wanted to, you could perhaps put another one in here, a single chair, which looks quite nice with the fence, and again a bit of carpet to top of that fence. There you go, we've got some nice seating around the pool. So let's make it look just a little bit more suburban, and we're going to put some hedging all the way around the outside of this build, right up against the wall. It just creates a much better area. We're going to leave a gap for the window, up to that pillar, around the pillar, and follow that pattern gap for the window all the way along. And leave a gap between that glass because you don't want the hedge too far against the glass because it's just going to make it dirty. And now it comes time to get these bushes in. We want some nice flowers around the place to make it look nice. So we have some flowers at the front in pots and some rose bushes just at the front there. We put a few flowers around the sides as well. All that we're going to do now is put in a tree just to give it a little bit more dimension, and you can see here I've marked out the square that we're going to put that tree in, and hopefully we'll get to it before the grass grows over it. I'm going to use a birch tree simply because the white flesh of the birch tree is going to match really quite nicely into the build. So let's get that tree there. So you can say we come one away from the edge of this clay because I think that's probably going to give us enough distance so as not to disturb the house. And there we go, we've got a nice birch tree there, and I think that goes really, really nicely. I'm really pleased with that. Wow, that bark looks great against the house. And the house is complete. So let's have a look inside, because what you do inside is entirely up to you. I personally have put down that carpet. I put a white bit in the middle just to give it another dimension. Put some pictures around and a table, another big picture, some stuff over the doors and a mirror in here. It's also created away in the garage, so that's where maybe you do all of the actual work and your storage, because you want to lock that away from your nice posh house and do it in the garage, don't you? That makes sense. And then up here we've got a nice open area, more pictures, and a fish tank on the side coming out onto your sun terrace, which you could probably put anything you wanted on. If you've enjoyed this, please do let me know. I do not know you've enjoyed it unless you hit that like button and leave me a comment, so make sure you do that. Share it with your friends, and if you want more tutorials and this kind of thing, then please let me know that too, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.